Hi, I'm Candy Laven and I live here in Mankato, Minnesota, also known as Deep Valley, home to the author Maud Hart Lovelace, who wrote the Betsy-Tacy children's book series. And speaking of Lovelace or love and lace, it makes me think of Valentine's Day. And we are all getting ready to do something fun for those that we love. Maybe a special tea or a dinner. Might be something that you and your loved ones would love. So let's talk today about creating a tablescape, something simple and elegant for your Victorian Valentine's Day. So there's no need to spend a lot of money on decorations. You probably have a lot of things in your home that you could put together to create a Valentine's Day theme. So that's what I did. I walked around, gathered things to create a Valentine's Day theme that I could choose from to put on the table. So I started thinking about dining. We always eat in the dining room. Let's eat somewhere different. So I chose the parlor to eat in, but I didn't have a table in the parlor. I had to find one. So I went upstairs to our attic bedroom and I found a little table. This table is small, but I think it's about the right size for two people to eat. So I set it up and then I started thinking about chairs. I don't want to sit on the same chairs that we always sit on. Let's sit on something different. So I went out to the porch and I found these wicker chairs. Brought them in and I think they look nice. They're white, they're kind of airy and romantic. It'll be a nice addition to my Valentine's Day theme. Next, I started to think about lighting and what could I do that was different. So I set up a lamp underneath the table. So you can see this lamp under the table. And when I cover it with a long tablecloth, it kind of creates a different ambiance. So if you don't have a long tablecloth, you can use a sheet, just something that goes all the way to the floor. The next, I started to look around for a red table runner, but I didn't have one. But I did have a plastic tablecloth. I cut the bottom off of the tablecloth and made a runner. And when I cover it with a little bit of lacy doily, you can't tell that it is plastic runner, and that lace kind of softens the look. If you don't have a lacy doily that's large enough for your table, you can use a shawl or you could use a window curtain. Just be creative. So once I got the table dressed, I started thinking about what to set the table with and the lighting on the table. I used several different candlestick holders to look at on the table, and I kind of settled on this one because it is a crystal candlestick holder and it doesn't really take away from the rest of the decorations. It's a special one because it belonged to my husband's grandmother and she received it as a wedding gift. Again, kind of tying in with that love theme. I put pink candles in it to pull together the colors on my table. So next I started thinking about the type of plates that I wanted on the table. And I remembered that I have a collection of ruby red glass plates. Now, ruby red glass is a Depression era glass. They're not really all that valuable, but they are very versatile. I can use this at Halloween, Christmas, and also Valentine's Day. And to change the look of my ruby red glass plate, I added a plate on top, which is this black and white check. And so I can do a lot of different themes just by adding a plate on top. On top of my black and white check plate, I have placed a napkin, and then also my Valentine's Day gift is on top, so that when my guests sit down their gift is right there and they can open it right away. So in addition, I'm now looking at glassware, and I have some ruby red glass goblets. These goblets are special because they are from a Bing cherry orchard in Colorado, and they were used to serve cherry wine in. But I'm going to use them as water goblets. And even though they're small, I think they'll work. I can just fill them with water several times if I need to. I've also placed teacup and saucer sets on the table. And when I was looking at my collection of cups and saucers, I chose the ones that have pink in them to work into my theme. And then because my table is small, I set my tea set over on the side table, and I'll just serve tea from the side. And I'll do that with the cream and sugar as well. Once my table is pretty well set, I will put my silverware on the table. Now I have a fork and a knife and a spoon on the table, and I have the knife resting on a knife rest. A knife rest just holds the knife up off of the table about a half an inch. And if you don't have an actual knife rest, you can use most anything to rest your knife on. It just holds a dirty knife off of your tablecloth to keep it clean. I also have a dessert fork at the top of my place setting. Remember, any silverware that is at the top of your plate is to be used for later. Of course, like a dessert would come later. And then I also have a tiny little teaspoon here on my saucer so that my guests can stir cream or sugar into their tea. And for a little extra special, I have the individual salt and pepper shakers. It's just something that you have on the table that you don't use every day, that tells your guests that they are special. So as we're setting our table, I realize that my table is very small, so I don't have room for everything. So I created what I call a sideboard over here against the wall. And what it is really is just the bottom of a dresser drawer. So I put anything on this table that I can't fit on my little table. For instance, desserts and candies and that kind of thing can fit back here. And then I've also decorated the sideboard with Valentine's Day decorations to tie it into my table theme. A beautifully set table tells your guest that they are valued and that they're special and that you treasure your time with them. So set your table and have a happy Valentine's Day. Thank you.